I rearranged my office. Now, you might notice there is no longer a digital piano behind me, and you might be thinking, why did you do that? Alana, where did it go? I thought you were a piano player. It's just in that closet back there. I put it away. Why did you put it away? Listen, here's the thing. Me and the piano have a very complicated relationship. There are times in my life I've loved playing it, and over the past year I've enjoyed one of those times in my life, but I've recently passed into another time of my life where I do not like it at all, and it just fills me with feelings of shame and negative thinking about myself just to have it in the same room as me. It's upsetting to deal with for sure, but sometimes it's just better for me to put it away, so out of sight, out of mind. I feel better day to day. That's where I'm at right now. I got to a point recently where I've been dreading spending time here in this office, and I just had to make some changes. I actually had to do the same thing a few years ago, shortly after I escaped the high control religious group I was a part of. I just couldn't stomach looking at this object that was used to take advantage of me week after week for free labor, so having it stored in a closet helps me feel noticeably better back then day to day. You just gotta do what you gotta do. This time you'll notice I replaced it with a folding table, and that might not look very important or symbolic, but it actually is very important and symbolic to me. Over the years, I've become so wrapped up in making a career for myself in music, and without realizing it for a long time, I started dropping all the other hobbies that I enjoyed. Things that I would do, regularly when I was a kid, like building things, playing with Legos, stuff like that. And I just stopped altogether one day, and my mental health has become increasingly a struggle for me the past few years, and so I've been doing a lot of things to try to rectify that. Been reading more books on the subject. I've been just trying to get back in touch with whatever little shred of true Alana there is in there to kind of see what she wants. And thankfully I picked up this book from the library, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and oh my gosh, I'm only a few chapters in, but it has already changed so much of my life. The reason why I put that keyboard away and rearranged my office yesterday was because of some of the exercises in this book. And I'm also starting to reclaim hobbies that I used to love doing when I was a kid. The book starts by assigning you something called morning pages. And if you haven't read this book yet, it's essentially a creative tool where you kind of just free write for 3 pages. You kind of just stream of consciousness. It doesn't have to be eloquent, it can be super messy. And the point is to just create a little space for you to rest on the page every morning. This book also teaches you from the very beginning that your inner artist is essentially your inner child. And sure enough, I've been able to start getting back in touch with my inner child through these morning pages. And some very freeing ideas and pretty drastic decisions that have been for the best have already come out of it. While doing these morning pages over the past week or so, my inner artist, my inner child, made it abundantly clear that she did not want to be forced to play piano right now, and she just wanted to go back to making things and playing for fun. I've always loved hands-on crafts and projects, and I just haven't done them in so long because I haven't had a space for them, and so I needed a space. So we had this folding table just chilling in one of our closets, so I had the idea while doing the morning pages to replace the piano with the table for now in this room. It just made more sense for right now. There's something to be said about letting your inner child call the shots after decades of silencing and repressing that voice. It's really scary because when you grow up in a high control religion, you are taught from the beginning that you can't trust yourself. So deep down, it kind of feels like you're doing something really dangerous and sinful and bad. And honestly, over this past week, it's been one of the hardest things I've ever done. She's definitely shaking things up, but I haven't felt this light or happy in a very long time. I mean, I've taken up crocheting and knitting again. I haven't done that in years. I signed up for a wood shop class in the community center at my town. It'll be in a couple weeks. So excited about that. I've caught myself hopping and dancing as I'm doing just random day-to-day things like making coffee or cooking. It's so delightful. So yeah, the piano's put away, but it's for a very good reason. I'm sure it'll be temporary, but I'm not going to put a timeline on it. We're doing some very deep healing and growing over here. If you can relate to any of this that I've talked about today, I highly recommend this book. Again, it's called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It came out, I think, in the 90s? Let's check. Yeah, first published in 1992. This is the 25th anniversary edition, and there's a couple stories in the front, like in the foreword and the introduction, of just like people sharing how much this has changed their life. And I was skeptical at first, but it's definitely been making some big changes in my life as well. And it's only been like, a week and a half that I've started reading it. So highly, highly recommend this book, especially if you're leaving a high control religion where your creative gifts were used. That's a big source of trauma for me and is something I've really struggled to kind of reclaim for myself, and I think this book has kind of been the key. Thanks for watching this more serious video. Things are definitely changing in my world, in my little personal bubble, but it's for the best. My mental health is improving, and I still make new videos every week. If you like music, mental health, and video games, that's the kind of stuff I post about. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I hope you guys have a great day. Remember to subscribe, and I will see you soon.